All
right, here we go. Get ready to have a good time. This is exciting, isn't it?
All right, we're on. Hello, testing.
Welcome aboard the Dreamliner.
It's the only way to fly.
I've allotted 1 hour for recreational activity. There's no time for irrelevant conversation. Fun will now commence.
Garry.
Here's a young speaker who is really in demand.
Don't let that go to your head, Garry.
But wait, there's more.
That's what I'm talking about.
He's Garry Meier.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Oh, excuse me. After listening to our guest Terry Savage talk about the economy and the markets last week, I realized that there are an estimated 660 million reasons to be doing something else right now. Yeah, I have to get my Mega Millions number selections just right. Gary's probably done that already, which would explain the absence of petty cash here at the GarrForce. Okay, the drawing is at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 Central, and it's now only 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 Central, so plenty of time to get those tickets. Anyway, it's the Friday, July 22nd, 2022 edition of the Garry Meier Show, Cocktail Hour Live.
Cocktails, woo, drinks.
And of course, no matter where you are, it's time for a digital mimosa. But with Mega Millions fever, maybe it's not a question of where you are, but where you want to be. So as a service to GarrForce viewers and listeners in Chicagoland, a quick look at traffic. You saw the Lakeshore Drive at Buckingham Fountain. Looks okay. The camera atop 875 North Michigan shows inbound and outbound traffic moving steadily. The Eisenhower is moving steadily in both directions at Congress. And the Kennedy at Damon is moving, but looking like it's building. That look at streaming traffic brought to you by the GarrForce Live YouTube channel, the preferred platform of the Garry Meier Show Cocktail Hour Live. Do us and yourself a favor. Subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when we're live. Like and share the show on all the social media channels, and know that during the live show, we can see your comments on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, which means we may show them on the screen and or talk about them. Now, fasten your seatbelts, it's time to go wheels up on the GarrForce Live!
Thank you, Alan. Traffic on the ones. That's a new addition. If we do the weather and the time, we're like every other crappy radio show out there. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Cocktail Show. Thank you for stopping by. We have to do a couple things before we go wheels up. Kick the tires and light them up. There they are. Light them up, Alan. Good to go. Okay. Suck, squeeze, bang, blow. Those are the 4 cycles of a jet engine. And we hope to achieve a couple of those during this broadcast tonight. And we'll have no guest. It's a Commando show because every now and then we have to just do it without a guest and not have to mind our manners. And we like that once in a while because we need to not mind our manners because we're drinking. And when I have a guest on, I have to kind of sip. But you may have noticed I'm already halfway through my Manhattan and I'm feeling pretty darn good. How you feeling, Leslie?
I'm feeling good. I'm kind of feeling like my toes got stepped on, though. I thought
What
I was the
happened?
traffic reporter.
I know.
But
Well,
I mean,
for those of you who
You
Alan
got
don't
did
know,
promoted. You got promoted to news. Come on, I'm in traffic
didn't
now.
see. You know,
yes, Leslie did traffic in the Chicago market, as they call it, for many years.
many
And then she
years.
came on board various radio shows as more than just a traffic bunny.
Well,
She had other talents that needed to be displayed, and I'm glad to have her doing those on this program.
I am akin to the Sigourney Weaver character in Galaxy Quest, where at some point she has this realization where really her only job was to repeat what the computer was saying. And
Mhm.
she at one point exclaims, "It's my only job." And I don't think I should have to feel ashamed. And yet here I am explaining myself.
Wow.
So
It seems like the wine has kicked in. And what would that be? What kind of wine is it?
I only just took a taste. It's the Oyster Bay, and it is condomized too.
Yeah, let's roll that thing off and
So
get
let's do
started.
this.
All right, here we go. Oh, God, here it comes. Let it go. Oh, right up in the air into the camera lens. right in the lens. I love it when it goes into the lens. Okay, we have officially kicked this whole thing off, and that means there's going to be a wine condom going out at the end of the show, still in its wrapper, and something else that Leslie has pulled out of her fun bag. Before we get to there's the fun bag, everything else, let me say hello to some of the people that have checked in. Keely-Ann has checked in, and she's the official first checker inner. And Alan, what has she said in her comment? Some guy named James Webb keeps looking at my schnauzer through his telescope. That damn Webb telescope is going to drive us all crazy. And Keely-Ann, keep the shades shut. Because that, you're right, that thing's going to zoom in on your schnauz. Oh, I found, Tracy from Racine sent me a bobble schnauzer, and Ryan I got dueling schnauzers.
Oh, and they're both nodding at each other.
Yes,
yes, just
here,
say
baby.
yes.
Kissing schnauzers. Ooh,
Oh.
Papa. Okay, Dale. Two Dales have checked in. Dale and Dale L. Charles from WRLR. And he has received some roast to order coffee from his wife, and he's very excited. I'll talk about that a little later, what roast to order is. Mike Maskow, the chief of roast to order, he's on board. Have you seen him check in there, Leslie? Yeah. Mike, how you doing? I think he's traveling. Mike. He drives a truck when he's not running this company. This man is working all the time, and he listens to the GarrForce to make the trip go more efficiently and quicker in his head, and he's very happy to do that. And I hope you are
he's
too.
Eyes on the road. Don't you worry. He's a safe trucker, everybody.
That's right. Damn it. All right. Ken Rakowski, Orland Park, Illinois' favorite son, and a dear friend of mine has come on board. Hello, Ken. Brian and Johnny from Michigan has been sending me pictures of the food he's been eating in Michigan all week. He bought some delicious pizza and sent me a text on that the other day. Johnny, glad you're on board. Hope everything is going well. And next Friday, before I forget, we go back to the guest situation. Marcus Leshock, he is a reporter on WGN TV in Chicago, and he is a roller coaster fanatic, and he's going to come on and tell us some of the favorite roller coasters he has ridden. I don't like roller coasters because my brain pan can't take that jostling. And some people love them and can't get enough of them. My eyes go like that. I don't want to do them.
How he's able to walk around without a cervical collar is beyond me, because I think the last one I rode was the Shockwave at Six Flags, Gurney, whatever it
flags
is these days. But anyway, that freaking thing messed me up.
Yes.
And yet it's his go juice. He can't stop that thing.
It's the same thing as being in a car accident. And who wants to be in a car accident? But people pay and they want to be in a simulated car accident. They should rename that the Marcus Shockwave. And he should work on that. I don't know. Maybe he has.
The bad news is Shockwave was dismantled a couple of years ago.
Well, then he shouldn't work on that.
Because it turns out it was rattling everyone's brain pan.
Exactly.
Okay. Stephen from Palos Park, Illinois has checked in. And I'm going to go to the screen door. Hopefully I have it. It's right. This is it, right?
T for Terry Savage. We learned that last week.
Yeah, last week Terry Savage was on and gave us some really bad news, and I haven't stopped drinking since.
That's
Deborah,
when this started.
Deborah from Des Plaines, Illinois, always there. Glad to see you, Deborah. Anthony, Doug, Brian, Jim. He's in Nevada. He's in Pahrump, Nevada. It's 109 there.
Wasn't
and giving us weather reports on the nines.
On the nines. Weather on the nines, traffic on the ones. We're full service.
Pahrump was
yes,
where that
I know what you're going to say.
Radio DJ
Art Bell.
There you go.
This guy, Art Bell. Yeah, he would do UFO kind of stuff, and it was super popular.
Oh my God. He did an entire show on a hole that was bottomless that they found in a place, and Indians fell into it, and nobody knows where the bottom is. Yes.
And Martin from British Columbia, he's here every week. I want to be number one in British Columbia. That's my goal. Dan, he's missed a few weeks. Don't make that a habit, Dan. Bill, he's in Arizona. It's 112. Do I hear 115, 115, 115? Do I hear 115, 115, 115?
So maybe we should take over what the Brits are doing, because it sounds so much less dangerous when they go, it's 40.
Yeah.
40 out today.
Yeah, Celsius.
Come on.
And
Oh, yeah.
we've got Karen from Tinley Park, Illinois. I went to Tinley Park High School. That's where my high school is. Scott is in Mel's Hole. Well, I hope that works for you.
And we will not judge. Whatever makes you happy.
Bill.
Oh,
and
no, that's that
Dan.
hole that what's his name talked about.
Which hole?
The bottomless hole.
The bottomless hole. Yes.
That Art Bell used to talk about.
That's
all
right.
The
The
time.
hole you just mentioned. 87 in Central Florida, if you're interested in the weather there. It's hard to believe that it's cooler in Central Florida than it is in some other parts of the northern states. Right? Robert, Kathy loves us. Kathy Dickman. I love Kathy Dickman. And did I mention Bill and all the... Okay, and Walter. Walter was last week's winner. I don't think Walter sent me his address for his prize. Walter, send your address to me.
Here's Walter's prize, still waiting to be
still
sent
sitting
out.
there, Walter. You won. I don't know if he was not there.
Bacon stickers and a Ides of March guitar pick. I mean,
Come
that
on.
and a condom. What more do you want, man?
Come on. Hey, my preferred lawn tools today, power washer and the blower. I had to blow, and here's Alan right now. I'll take that out and make him sound pervy. I had the blower going and the power washer. You're so right, Leslie. And I haven't watched a lot of these power washer vids on the net, but you say it's Zen-like, but just doing it. Oh my God.
My husband took a layer of paint off of our deck because he just got so into
I know,
it.
you got to be careful. They're powerful. Don't get it too close to the surface. I just love this stuff.
Can you, and here's something Alan can isolate for next week. Have you ever touched a garden weasel?
Have you ever seen a grown man naked? What are you saying here?
Say garden weasel.
Oh, yeah, I've done the weasel.
Have you?
Yeah. Hey,
you like the garden weasel?
I love the weasel. All kinds of yard tools. I can do any of that. I love all of them. But here's the bit. I need a piece for my weed whacker, and it's this eyelet that the wires go through, the strings, the plastic strings. And one flew out in this weeded area last year, and a couple days ago, the other one flew out in the same area. It doesn't like that area, apparently, as it dives in and boom, it's gone. Anyway, last year I ordered this piece. It was $2.50. This is where the Terry Savage talk comes back. Last year, $2.50. I go and order it yesterday, $4.50 and $10 shipping. Where last year, no shipping, $2.50 out the door. This is where we're at. What the hell is happening?
Well, so you would say, hey, let me come pick it up, but at $5 a gallon for gasoline, you kind of have to let somebody else do the driving then too.
And speaking of gasoline, it is coming down, and it's funny when you see $4.50, you think you get it. Well, you get a chubby or chubette. Pick one.
It feels good. It just
Doesn't
feels
it?
good. But yeah, well, I haven't seen too much of that around these parts yet, but they say it's coming.
Well, Ryan, Wisconsin reporter Ryan, said he saw it for under $4 somewhere in Wisconsin, and he'll tell us where when he checks in. And also, if you'd like to talk on this program, you can do that. It is full service, and what you do is, Keith, why don't you come on and tell the people what to do if they want to talk? Or don't. I don't care. Wait a minute. As J.K. Simmons said in Whiplash, fill out the expense reports and turn them in, or don't. I don't give a fuck.
There's a little bit of a delay on my end for some reason, but all they have to do, Gary, is text the number, which is 773-888-2157, and say they'd like to come on, and I'll be happy to route them through the complex machinery here and put them on.
Yes, last week, I think Matt wanted to come on, and then we forgot that you were not here, and nobody else can do what you do in that capacity. And Chuck from WRLR, I think he wanted to talk, and now you can. Do what Keith just said. Keith and his lovely wife are looking for real estate, and they do these road trips on the weekend and see if they can put a house up somewhere.
Anywhere, yeah. We're
Right.
just looking. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to say where. That's up to you if you want to disclose, but you probably don't because you don't.
No.
No, then everybody will be running to get.
You're right. Okay. A land grab.
And we both used to work in radio, so we can't afford a land grab in that area.
Yeah. Okay. So you got to play it cool. But you think in a couple of years you're going to have a house and build a house and move in and all that stuff.
A couple of years, depending on how inflation goes.
Yeah. Okay.
Having also worked in radio, is it possible to subdivide our lot and let somebody move in and back?
Just do it.
That's a good idea.
You're in an unincorporated area. You can do whatever you want.
Pretty much. I mean, it's one of those places where it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. So just try it and wait until they come after you.
And
Well, hell,
if they
one of our
kibosh you, Leslie, you could be a she shed.
there you go. As one of our regular listeners, who's also a customer of Roast to Order Coffee, that's roasttoorder.shop, who's also named Leslie, who lives in my area, can attest to. One of our neighbors covered their home in floor tile as opposed to exterior siding or say hardy board or something like that. So she knows that anything goes where I live.
Wait, Leslie, we lost your feed there.
Uh-oh. Am I back?
You're back.
Okay.
Yeah. So they put it in. They put tile on the side of all around the house.
Right. That is their siding in lieu of like what normal houses are covered in.
Okay. See, here's where unincorporated doesn't work for you because no regulations and people can do whatever the hell they want, right?
Well, and in a weird way, it's kind of the America I embrace because it is real loosey goosey, and yet everybody seems to get along together. So
Okay. Well, if you don't mind it, and I don't know what they're thinking as far as resale value, unless they're going to live there the rest of their lives.
well, and with that, I mean, it's not my house, so yeah, maybe bringing down housing values a touch, but hey,
Yeah.
life's a trade-off. That's how it works.
As Ellen pointed out at the outset, I have Mega Millions fever. I would imagine some other people out there do too. And have you bought some tickets, Leslie?
I have not yet.
Okay. Remember, only half your salary on tickets to be smart about it.
Right.
Yeah.
The food budget, right?
Yes.
Because who needs food when you got this stuff?
That's right. You've got food. It's just a more liquid form. And I was doing the power washing and going through that cycle of here's what I'm going to do when I win tonight.
Yeah.
That's why you buy the ticket for a few hours of this is what I'm going to do. It gets so bizarre where you keep extending. Okay, I know I'm going to win, and now I got to do it this way, that way. Here's what I'm going to buy first, and that's what I did all day as I'm power washing and blowing.
And with that, he's going, I'm going to get me a bigger power washer. I'm
Mhm.
going to get a larger blower. We
Right.
need to get Dieter Sturm on the line because I think he has like those massive blower fans. You just
Yes.
put one of those at the end of the yard at the end of the day. And
Yes. Dieter Sturm, award winner, Academy Award winner, will come to the house and blow anything I want to blow, and I'll pay him a premium. Ellen, put a time check on that and do something with it. Hey, Johnny said he wants to talk on the show. Johnny, route into Keith, and he says he has. Keith, can you put Johnny on?
Keith has Ken Rakowski on the line.
Ken?
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Let
all right,
me put Keith in the feed, and we'll get Ken on the line.
Okay.
Ken, are you there?
Service. Traffic, weather, phone calls.
Really?
Is the caller there?
Is the caller there? Is Ken there?
I'm not hearing anything.
Because Ken was a pretty regular guest back in the day.
There I am.
Yes.
Oh, there he is.
Ken.
Yeah, I hear you guys. Hey guys.
Hey, Ken.
Hi, Leslie. I'm here. I don't want to talk to you, Gary. Hey, Leslie, how are you?
Hi, Ken. It's been a long, long time. As I was just mentioning, you were a pretty regular guest when they decided they didn't want us on terrestrial radio and they throw us onto the interwebs. And you were one of the first people who said, that's where you want to be. So thank you.
That's right. It's the best place to be. Actually, I think I was still on GN when that happened. I was kind of like playing covert on the other side.
Ken told me.
I left GN.
I'm sorry. Let me just say this, and then you can fill in the blank here. Ken, 15 years ago, at least, came to my house, and he said, "Why are you still on the radio? You know that's going to go away, and you're going to be sitting there with these idiots who run these places because they're tanking them." I go, "Ken, that's my comfort zone." Okay. He opens his computer. He plugs a microphone in. All right, start talking. I interviewed my daughter, who was about 8 at the time, and did that for about 10 minutes. He played it back. He goes, "You're on the radio. There's your radio station right there."
Yeah.
And he's right.
Well, many people may not know this, but I actually invented the podcast in the 90s.
Yeah.
So I developed that technology and I sold it to Microsoft. I did. And I mean,
No.
I think.
Wait,
it's the
are
best
you
way.
are you
I have-
blowing
I have to
smoke
get-
or?
No, I actually invented it. It wasn't Adam Curry, it was me. I invented it. I invented the technology in the late 90s. And I'm not sure, Gary, I think you came over, maybe you came over to my place in Tinley.
Yeah.
Because I was on WJOL when I started using the technology out of Joliet when we were streaming over the internet live. Do you remember that?
Yes. Here's where I thought Ken was a witch. He invites me over to his apartment, and the last time this happened, many years before, a guy told me to look in this hole in a piece of plywood, and he peed in my eye. But that did not happen when I went to Ken's apartment. So Ken says to me, "Let's call somebody on the computer." And I said, "Ken, there's no audio on computers." This was before, can you believe it? Computers had no audio. And he goes, "Watch this. Hold my beer and watch this." He plugs in a microphone to the computer and he taps something on the keyboard. And we're talking to somebody in Australia 30 seconds later. And I go, "Oh my God, you're a witch or something. I don't know what to do. You scare me." He's so far ahead in the technology. It's amazing.
It's so like old school. It's like talking about rotary phones.
I know,
Kind
but
of it.
but at the time it was advanced.
Well, on top of that, like the
Yeah.
first time, so I'm assuming this was the first time you were on Skype. And with that, I'm like, well, how much is this costing us? Well, it's free. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of free.
Yeah, Ken knows it all, and I think he gets a bit frustrated with me when he tries to teach me something. I'm like, "Ken, I'm a Luddite. I have to go slowly here," but he's been so patient with me, and he's a dear friend, and I owe a lot of things to him for helping me.
I love Gary. He's my big brother and little brother all at the same time. That's what he is.
As Ken and I have
I wanted to talk about. What's
Go
that?
ahead. Go ahead.
You were talking about weather the other day, maybe 15 minutes ago, and I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona for a period of time. And guys, I'm an outdoor person. Like Gary, you like to work on the yard. I lived in Dubai and Bali. I think where I'm at, it is so damn hot that you go outside just to go and do something, but you go outside in your car because it's too hot to even be outside. And it really sucks when you're in this type of weather. So if you're under 100 degrees, be happy because it doesn't get below 100 even at night here during this time of year.
Okay, it is the desert, and this is even unusual for the desert, is what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's really, but we're getting a lot of work done. I'm working on my book. I'm doing all these things because you can't. It's a prison. I have a nice prison right now because the temperature prevents you from going outside and enjoying anything.
And like he said, he lived in Dubai for a while, and I'm assuming Dubai is hot a lot, but not that hot?
Dubai gets hot, but there's enough to do. Here's the issue, guys. Scottsdale is great. Phoenix is decent, I guess, but there's not a lot to do in malls. There's one mall. In Dubai, everything's a mall. Everything has outdoor or indoor accessibility and fun. Here, it's not built like that. Dubai was designed to be indoors, and there's so much entertainment. You have ski slopes in Dubai. In Scottsdale, you got one mall. You're done.
But they still haven't figured out like sewage properly. On top of that, you're writing a book, Ken? What are you writing a book about?
On how to connect. I think one of the biggest problems that we've had, especially since social media, is how do we connect to one another properly? And then once we know how to connect, how do you know how to communicate with that person? So, for example, I have a 17-year-old. If I want to talk to my 17-year-old, I have to DM her in Instagram, where I have a mentor of mine, which is about Gary's age. Best way to connect with him is an actual handwritten letter. So how do you understand communication and connection with one another?
That was such a jab.
Yeah, roasted. Scottsdale roasted.
I send a pony with a guy and a bag. Oh.
Shit.
Guys, I just love watching it. I'm so happy you guys do this on Fridays. It'd be nice to see you guys do it all week. And I just want to tell you, I adore you, and thanks a lot for making our Fridays super entertaining.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Rick, whatever your name is. And he's a dear friend. Ken has said to me, and I'm going to just say it because I'm comfortable in saying this. If we were gay, we'd be married, because Ken and I sync up on everything pretty much. And I'd have no problem with that if I was, and he wouldn't either. And
gotta say, you're both snappy dressers beside. Not to do any stereotyping, but yes, you clean up well.
And it's always interesting when Ken says something like that, or I say something like that in front of our wives and his future wife, and they look at us like, maybe we're not making the right decisions here. Okay. All right.
Mind you, we've had Ken's future wife on as a guest, and she is a firecracker.
Yeah.
And this is a well put together woman who is a mover and shaker. And
she took my LinkedIn page, Leslie, and she looked at it and she said, that's not something that's going to do any good for you. And she, in about an hour, made that thing so good that people started to see it and go, can you accept me as one of your LinkedIn people? Because she put some fizz in it. I was just lying there, and she did this, and I watched her do it. And it was unbelievable. All right.
Well, because at this point they're saying Facebook, it's only for old people, and Instagram's on the way out. Twitter's, there's that. So we're going to have to figure out how to put our toes in whatever the next big wada is.
Is it Twitch?
Is it
Should
Twitch?
I be twitching? Should I be TikToking? Oh,
I wish we've got Johnny from Michigan.
Johnny's on the phone. Johnny from Michigan. Hey, Johnny.
Hey, Gary. Hey, Leslie. Hey, Ryan. Hey, Alan. Hey, Kate. How you doing?
That's
Hey,
my
Johnny.
man. That's Johnny. How you doing, Johnny? Everything good?
Hey, Mark. Can't forget about Martin and Scott and everybody. So, hey, all you guys. And Roberto.
And Johnny knows everybody I know.
There?
Yeah, Johnny, George, my friend George and Johnny communicate all the time. Roberto and Johnny, it's Johnny is the center of everything now, and he's in Michigan going to broadcasting school. And when he's not doing that, he's traveling around the country for all of $6.
Gary, it's actually called communication. It's not broadcasting. It's communication.
Whatever.
Oh,
But-
wow.
Yeah.
Damn, everybody's
Yeah.
like sticking it to...
What? You're feeling
Because only
tension,
old
Leslie?
people call it communication or call it, not
Yeah.
broadcasting. Now it's just communication. Okay.
Communication, Gary. Come to the 21st century, please. Johnny, what are your plans this weekend?
And then, go to church tomorrow. Go to confession. Probably have Chinese for tomorrow night. I had a bad back burger for tonight. I have work today. Got a paycheck. So
That's good.
I didn't know they still did confessions. I thought those confessional booths were used for storage. Do you go to confession, Leslie? Do they still have the booth?
My last confession was Ash Wednesday this year.
My last confession was 1972.
It is still one of the sacraments if you're a practicing Catholic.
All right, Johnny, it's hard. There's a little delay. So, Johnny, I'll check in with you. Send me pictures of your Chinese food.
Yeah. Hey, Gary, thank you for being a friend to me and that. Thank you.
Hey, it's my pleasure, Johnny. You know, I love you because when I first met you, I thought this is a guy who I'd like to have as part of my whack pack. And you have become that in a good way.
One question: how's Ronnie Wu doing?
All right. Thanks, Johnny. Actually, George, who I just mentioned, said to me the other day, you should have Ronnie Wu Wu on. Ronnie Wu Wu is this character in Chicago who walks around town and just goes, woo, woo, woo. And he has a Cubs uniform, full Cubs uniform, and he just shows up at places.
Well, he used to just like hang out in the bleachers. He'd go to every Cubs home game, and that was his deal, was to. But what was funny, like most of us think of woo as being an like where you expel air. Woo. He
Yeah.
would go woo, woo, was
Yeah.
actually the way he did it, and he blew out his throat a couple years ago because that's not a natural thing to do.
Yeah. And here's,
Woo.
I think I told this story before, but I'll repeat it. Where my friend George and I were driving through downtown Chicago, and Ronnie Wu Wu was standing on a corner, and George goes, let's pick him up because he seems to be waiting for a bus or something. And Wu Wu gets in the back seat and rolls the window down. And as we're driving him to his destination for about 10 minutes, out the back window. Woo, yeah, woo, hey, woo, hey, woo. I thought it was like a car alarm going off. Woo, woo, woo. Oh my God.
So is it just the vibration that sets him off?
I don't know what it is, but he'll show up anywhere uninvited in his Cubs uniform, and people just go, "That's Johnny Woo Woo."
Yeah, I saw him. I saw him down here in Windermere, Florida, one day, eating at an Italian restaurant, wearing his Woo Woo shirt.
Okay, that's what I mean. He's omnipresent. He's Zelig.
Gee, Gary, you should have had a costume along the way, like a
Yeah.
kind of shirt or a thing
Yeah,
that.
right,
Yeah.
right. I should have, and
Never
some
mind.
kind of catchphrase of that nature.
Oh, gee.
Did you hear
Woulda,
Skittles?
coulda, shoulda.
Yeah, still time. Did you hear that a group of consumers are suing Mars Candy, alleging Skittles contain titanium dioxide, which the lawsuit says is used in paint, adhesives, plastics, and roofing materials? It's going to be banned in Europe next month. Skittles. You like Skittles?
I do. I love to taste the rainbow. Alan can isolate that one.
That's right. Wait a minute.
but,
Wait a minute. Whenever I hear something that I think, okay, there it is. That's my catch video.
But this is what people don't seem to understand. It's like when we talk about petroleum, yeah, it'd be cool to have a world without petroleum, but it also means you won't have vitamins and pharmaceuticals. See, there's a
Yeah.
lot of that stuff that crosses, and it's not necessarily always poisonous. But,
Well, now this is on Skittles, and I saw this on the national news where Skittles is going to have to chase this now. And now you're
Right.
thinking, I like Skittles. Should I not like Skittles? This is what happens. This thing spreads like wildfire. And I saw this video in Disney World, and I watched it, and it said, big brawl at Disney World. And I'm watching it for about 2 or 3 minutes, and I don't see a brawl. And I'm thinking, what is this? How does this get out there? And Alan said that there are people that kind of just throw this stuff out there to cause trouble.
Well, and there did seem to be an unnecessary amount of pushing and shoving, and
Yeah.
it's just adults acting badly. And with that, is it going to be like, well, we've been talking all week about a certain guy who wanted to be a mass murderer, who then wanted to become a concert act, and we won't use his names.
Now, wait a minute. He didn't want to become a mass murderer. He wanted to be Jodie Foster's boyfriend. And he
Okay.
thought the way to get to that is to shoot people. And that would be the
right.
president.
So with that, we haven't been using his name because now you just dial these people. You're giving them
Right.
exactly
Everything
what
they
they
want.
want.
Yes.
And that's the attention. And in this case, I think all the adults in that little set to, it wasn't quite a melee. It was
It was not a brawl. I didn't see
It
a
wasn't a
brawl, and I'm
brawl.
thinking, why is this out on the news wire?
Well, there was big theme park news this week out of Buena Park, California, where Knott's Berry Farm is located. Knott's Berry Farm had a major altercation. The cops were called in. They closed the park 3 hours early because of it on a Saturday night. And then the next day, for the first time ever, Knott's Berry Farm instituted a chaperone policy. People under a certain age, I want to say it was 16, but it might have been even 18. Basically, people under a certain age now must be accompanied by an adult at all times on Fridays and Saturdays at Knott's Berry Farm because it got that out of hand the other day.
2 words, water cannon. And
Bingo.
You're going to come back someday and say, wait, Garry said this years ago to use water cannons. What is wrong with the water cannon? If you want to quell a crowd that's out of control, water cannon.
Well, and in this case, you might be able to put it on like more of the sprinkler setting.
Yes,
which will
have
just
settings.
like snap them out of their BS, and now they're going to move along.
Yes, when your
Or
shoes are
you-
full of water.
But at a theme park, people would think that's just another attraction. I mean, there are places in theme parks that people go to get wet, standing under such
misted.
things. Yes.
That's
Right.
why you have the settings. That's a really piercing water stream. When your shoes are full of water, you don't want to stay around anymore. You want to go take your shoes off.
So you start low until you get to the fillet setting where it starts
Right.
removing the skin on
And that
those
goes back to
feet.
the power washer. If this starts to take your clothes off because it's so powerful, you might want to go home.
Now it's time
I have
to
seen
call
this
it.
used in Europe. They're using it in Europe. Don't give me this shit about,
Right.
oh, it's got a bag.
Civil-
They
right.
use
We
it around the
understand
world.
history.
Right. And they do give you a warning. There's a countdown clock. There's an announcement. You have 30 seconds to disperse. Countdown clock. So I don't know what else you need. If you don't want to be wet, get out of there. Then there's the countdown clock.
There you go.
Boom. And then
Look, that's
if you're
plenty
still
of
there,
time to turn around.
yes, that's plenty of time to get the hell out, unless you want your shoes full of water. God damn it.
Or
All
your
right.
pants over there and your arms
I'm
over
over there. Everything's akimbo after the water cannon goes on. Right? All right. Okay. Where are we in the program? I think we should pay homage to the fine sponsors. And I talked to Mike Maskow from Roast to Order. Let's start with Bettenhausen because I think you have that loaded up. And I want to get into some Roast to Order coffee and tea talk here in just a second. Let's go to Bettenhausen and their fine products.
Summer is what you make of it, and Bettenhausen Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Tinley Park has your new Jeep Grand Cherokee with 0% for 48 months, plus $1,500 bonus cash. Lease a new 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee for $349 per month. Killer whales kill, hot coffee is hot, sharks swim in the ocean, and it's the Make This the Summer event at Bettenhausen in Tinley Park. Your best car buying experience starts now at BettenhausenCDJR.com.
And if you don't live in the immediate Chicago area, still look at the prices, call them because they can ship cars too. You don't want to beat that. You can't beat that price. You don't want to you don't want to miss that price. Okay.
My husband bought me Armor All wipes so that I can keep my Bettenhausen automobile as shiny as the day I bought it. And mind you, I bought a used car from them, and you would swear it was brand new, how clean and tidy it was when I got it. And I'm going to keep it that way.
Atta girl. Mike Bettenhausen, John Doolin, they're the guys there that will take care of you. And I've known them for over 20 years. It's just fantastic, the whole thing. Another man that I'm in love with now, Mike Maskow. I'm in love with so many men. So many men I love. This guy I love. I love.
Guy.
Is that wrong? Is it wrong to love
No.
men? No. These are good men. They're solid men. And Mike Maskow, here's what he's going to do. Listen to this. I talked to him yesterday, Leslie, and he said, when you have a guest on the cocktail show, tell them that for being a guest, they're going to get a $50 Roast to Order coffee and tea gift card. And that's so nice. He didn't have to do that, but he's doing it. And he also said, listen, you don't have people. Edit this out, Alan. He also said, can we talk? He also said, listen, he said, some people don't like coffee. They don't like tea. But how about giving the roast to order gift card to people, friends, as a gift? Coffee and tea. That's a good, and they ship around the country. There's nothing wrong with anything here, is there?
So is this the way you got Marcus Leshock to say he'd come on the program?
He didn't know this, but he's going to know it next week. And listen to this. It's retroactive. I called Terry and said, Terry, you're going to get a $50 gift card from Roast to Order. And she was so excited. People like good free stuff. I've been giving away stuff for years. And it doesn't matter how successful and rich you are. When it's free, I've talked about this several times. Julia Louis Dreyfus. Alan, cut this out when we're done, okay?
Oh, they'll clean it up in post. It'll be fabulous.
Elaine Benez from Seinfeld. I had her on the show, and I gave her a pair of sunglasses because a friend of mine owned a eyewear store, an eyewear store. What time is it? Yeah, we're 40 minutes in.
We're 40 minutes in.
Okay, I'm going to ask. Hey, listen. I'm going to ask you to tighten your seatbelt because I think we're going to hit some goo here.
If you can use the 5-point belt or 3-point belt at least, something like
Whatever.
that. Yeah.
Okay. So I have her on the show, and then at the end of the interview, I give her this beautiful pair of sunglasses. I mean, this guy had great sunglasses, and she was so excited. And this is a woman who's had an incredible career, but you still like to get free stuff.
She was born a millionairess.
Yes.
I mean, she was born into huge money.
Yes,
and
her
still...
father is the Dreyfus Fund.
Right. Okay, so with that, if any of you guys know somebody who could be lured onto this program with some coffee, thank you, Mike Mascow. I mean, you may have provided that carrot that we could put at the end of our stick.
Yes, look at how nice the GarrForce mug looks nestled between the roast to order stuff. Nice. So roast to order.shop is where you go to send gift cards or order. And Chuck got in the queue there early. His wife got him some roast to order coffee, and he just got it. He said, as I said, the aroma. Here, look. At WRLR, that's 98.3. And you got the scooper storage canister.
That would be a canister. Oh my God.
It's a canister.
But so I got to tell you, the scoop is like perfectly weighted. It's a sturdy little scoop, and the canister, it's a vacuum canister.
It's canister.
Really amazing.
God damn it, it's a canister. Hey, if I can't have fun on Friday, then I don't want to live.
Oh,
I mean, at this point, really, between the Webb telescope and the inflation and everything else, I need this. Otherwise, I'm going to wig out.
Have they turned it around and taken a picture of Earth from it yet? Because if they haven't, they should.
Wow, that's interesting.
I mean, they could probably
do that?
look into somebody's ear canal.
Yes, or Keely Ann's window and see her schnauzer.
So, exactly.
Now, that's the kind of stuff I'd like to see. I can't look at these pictures anymore. I'm already insecure in my place in the universe. This is just making it worse. This man here, I don't know. Do I want to marry Ken Rakowski? Do I want to marry John Doolin, Mike Bettenhausen, Mike Mascow, or David Hochberg? Who do I want to marry? This guy knows everything about mortgages and refi. I love this guy. He supported me so much when I was on the radio, and he would fuel the marketing that they wouldn't do at the station. He would buy things and I'd give them away because he said, let's do it. I'll do it. I'll support you. I'll finance this stuff. The Dickies, the muffs, the pins, the scarves, the sweatshirts, all that. Now, yeah, there it is. He fueled that.
There's the pin.
Alan's got yes, look at that.
This show now for how many years? David was one of our first.
Yes. He's been on board 7 years now.
Thank you. Thank
you,
David Hochberg.
And the real estate now, the prime and everything's wonky, but he can guide you through so you don't jump out a window. Buy the house, close the window, don't jump out. Go to this guy. There are the numbers. And they give you a free consultation. Can't beat that. Come on. As Russell says, serenity now. Serenity now. Oh, my God. All right. I'm feeling pretty good. This is the part of the show where I'm really, I feel good. I feel like life is worth living. Yeah.
And we haven't even brought Ryan on yet, and he's got a whole
Oh
bunch of
yeah,
stuff
and we
to
still have
talk
stuff
about.
that you're going to
Oh,
talk about.
I
And
got some good stuff for you today.
hey, how about as far as putting in the queue, what people should put in the queue to win the condom and whatever you're going to pull out of that fun bag? How about hashtag Skittles?
There you go.
Hashtag Skittles.
Taste the rainbow with us
Yeah.
until it turns out that it's dangerous. But let's be calm until all of this is played out in court or something. Who knows?
Hey, Gregory says, how many cocktails so far? I got to tell you, Gregory, this is the only one, but I haven't eaten for many hours. And I do that on purpose so I get the hit I want with the one cocktail.
So once again, it's Skittles. Charles, put it in with an S. I mean,
Yes.
make sure you got it. It
Hashtag
doesn't
Skittles.
matter if you've got the capitals and lowercase in there, but make sure it's got an S on the end. Skittles.
Skittles.
And if you've won in the past, once again, it'd be really cool if you let other people.
Yeah, let somebody
win.
else win. Just spread the
'Cause
love.
You only. So should I dig in and find
Dig
out
into your
before
fun
we
bag.
bring Ryan on?
Yes. Let's see what the second prize is going to be. Joe Rogan's not doing this. Whatever. Okay. We're doing this. What is that?
It's
a whip?
a rubber snake. It's a
Oh my
snake.
God.
So
Nice.
as soon as I saw it, I thought there have been a lot of car break-ins
Mm-hmm.
all over cities, all over the United States of America. And Garry, years ago, came up with a perfect way to avoid them. And that
Yes.
is?
I put an inflatable snake on my passenger seat when I was not in the car. And you can't tell when you look in the window. That looks real to me.
Oh, look at this thing. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, if I were battling it,
How would you do that again? Okay, wait a minute now. Somebody just
stop.
freeze frame that. And okay, now we got something going here.
But so, yeah.
Nice snake.
It's not just a rubber snake. It is a theft deterrent.
That is really nice. That's a
Isn't
good looking
it?
snake. Okay, so that's what you're going to get, the condom and the snake. If you're the winner, the computer will pick a random winner, hashtag Skittles.
That would
That's
be a
the
great
prize package.
album name, The Condom and the Snake.
Yes. All right, Ryan, try to follow all this.
Hey, we're having a good Friday.
Yes, we are, brother.
I'm a bachelor this weekend. My family's left me after probably all those comments about my wife's cleaning products.
Yeah. Now it's not, as far as you know, it's not permanent.
No.
They've gone away for the weekend. So it's just you and the dog. And here's what Ryan's going to do. He's going to walk the dog and probably see one of the following. A young couple having carnal knowledge with the door open in a parking lot.
Heavy petting.
Somebody shaving somebody's back in a window. Or grass clippings all over the place that somebody hasn't cleaned up. Those are the three items, right?
That's the usual fare. It's been pretty quiet. We haven't found too much in the last couple walks, but
now Ryan went to a mall today and he was rather verklempt because the mall is not in good shape. Half the food court, if not more, is closed. The stores have gone out of business, right?
Yeah, the food court, there was probably 3 stands open, I'll call them. And otherwise, I saw a lot of people in crop tops. You saw a lot of thongs and a lot of house slippers or bedroom slippers. And those were employees wearing bedroom slippers at a food establishment.
What do you mean by thong? Thong underwear?
Yes.
Wait a minute.
Leslie,
That's
explain what you said to me. Explain what you said in that text about clothing manufacturers.
So this is my assessment of what's happened with manufacturing in the last year that I've noticed. They're saving money. Everybody is cutting sizes, right? If you go and buy what you think is a half gallon of ice cream, it's not a half gallon of ice cream. Everything's been downsized, including go into any young adult clothing store. There is not a full size shirt to be had. Everything is crop top. And I'm thinking they're pushing that style because they don't want to give you the extra material. Same thing with the shorts. All the shorts are cut up so that you see like bun cheeks now. They look they're not quite thongy.
Ryan, are they thong underwear or short?
Well, they're so thin. Is also the manufacturers are making shorts and pants so thin you can see right through them. So,
Well,
I
and-
mean,
Here, I did that.
Here it comes. Here
I
it
got
comes.
the hole in the.
There it
in the
is.
jeans.
There it is.
Mind you, this came from Natural Wear. I went shopping for a pair of jeans, and most of them were pre-torn. Once again, I'm thinking the manufacturers are going, we got all this shitty denim.
Yeah.
Let's
rip
turn
it.
them into jeans and call it style, and everybody's buying it. So, yeah,
And
well.
Ryan, were these employees or customers walking around in thongs?
There were young girls. I mean, you could see, as Leslie said, crop tops, shorts that you could see right through. But but employees had at a food establishment. She was coming into work and she had house slippers on. I was just like, what? And then across, walking around the mall are beefed up security guards, not the nerds anymore. They're big, and then police with gun sniffing dogs. I mean, it said ammo detection unit or something, and the dog's sniffing people, like that German Shepherd that went after you. I mean, the dog was actively engaged with people.
If you like having your crotch sniffed by a German Shepherd, go through the Miami airport. That's where it happened to me. I'm coming down the escalator, and the cop is down there with the German Shepherd, and the German Shepherd looked me in the eye and thought, "Your crotch is my bitch.
Right here, buddy.
Right. I'm going to make your crotch my biatch." And I got down to the bottom, and that dog's nose was way up in my business. Why is that happening to me at airports? Do I look like I'm a drug mule? Because this happens all the time.
You did back in the day, because you did when I first met you. You had kind of a Cat Stevens Serpico thing going.
with the Halliburton luggage, which is that metal luggage, and the leather pants. I guess I did look like I worked for El Chapo.
Pretty much.
So the mall's a mess, is what you're saying.
The mall's a mess, so it was a quick encounter, in and out. I just had to go pick up something I ordered that was only available there. So
yeah, okay. And now you're home alone all weekend, and you bought some fudge, and that is what you and your dog are going to do: sit around in your underwear and eat fudge.
Right.
Once again, people, do not feed your dogs chocolate.
No,
It's
no,
very dangerous.
no,
That's
do not
only
do that.
for Ryan.
Yes.
By the way, you did mention the slipper thing, and Greg Olaf is pointing out too. This slipper thing is really effed up, because they're like shower sandals and just actual slippers, and then they put on like tube socks underneath.
Yeah.
And they're preparing food, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That's
as I've pointed out, when Casual Friday bled into the rest of the week, put a stick pin in it. That's when society has gone to shit. Because really, people are walking around like total dog shit, and that is not good.
No. And gas is under $4 at the BP. I got it for $3.98. So
really?
I saw a lot of other people commenting in Wisconsin. It's right at the $4, right under $3. So I'm under $4, right in the $3.90.
Road trip, except it's going to cost us that much to get there.
Yep. And Ted Nugent is at the Waukesha County Fair tonight. Someone else commented about that. So that's the big headliner tonight. Ted Nugent, if you want to go to the Waukesha County Fair. So,
all right, Wango Tango, there it is.
There you go.
All right, you have a report too. Wow, am I going to make it, or gonna?
I don't
really.
Let the affiliates know.
I think this is going to be a bumpy landing. You might want to put the tray table. Put the tray tables up right now. But here's the Wisconsin report. In the meantime.
It's Wisconsin, yeah, hey.
Hey everybody, it's Ryan. I have a few updates this week from Wisconsin. In the past, Garry and Leslie have discussed the pros, the cons of having roommates. Sometimes they're a joy, sometimes they're a nightmare. Well, ABC's released a new reality show called Claim to Fame. The premise of the show is contestants related to celebrities live under one roof and compete for $100,000. Well, one of the contestants making news in Wisconsin is Brittany Favre. Yes, that's the daughter of famed Green Bay quarterback Brett Favre. So we'll see how she does in the show. She's quoted saying she's going to win the $100,000 because her dad has taught her a winning attitude growing up. We'll see if that comes to play, but it's nice to see part of the Favre family back in the spotlight. Switching gears here a little bit, I haven't mentioned magnet fishing much this summer. Well, we haven't had any magnet fishing kits available. We've either lost the magnet in the river or we've let the rope go and it floated downstream. Well, we purchased a new one. You can see here in the picture, it's all orange, Hank's favorite color, and the tagline for this magnet fishing kit is beautiful and strong. We look forward in the next few weeks to go magnet fishing and see what junk we can bring in, and hopefully we don't lose this magnet. It hasn't gone down in price, and this kit's about $150. I'll keep you posted on how it goes. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.
Gregory also said, tell the affiliates I'm going to run late. Yes, I am. Okay, speaking of being drunk and being on the air, and I wish we could show video, but every time we did, we got flagged because it's all copyrighted and trademarked and that shit. There is a news anchor in, I believe, New York State, Albany, I believe it was happening there. This woman was on television, news anchor, and she appeared to be drunk. She said it was because her father had just died and she was kind of wigged out.
She was sleepy.
Yeah, and the whole thing is, if you can find this, just Google news anchor appears to be
sleeping
drunk.
News anchor, or drunk news anchor.
Well, and her hair is askew. You'll know
Right.
it immediately because
Oh God,
she
it's
has
the best.
anything
It's
but
so
the
good.
anchorist look going. Yeah.
Yes, but if every local news was like that, I'd watch it because I really enjoyed the whole thing. Because she's talking like this, and you know what? I talked to my mother in Oklahoma, and it's really hot there, and I said, "Oh my God, oh my God!" And she's talking like that. It's beautiful. But this is on television. We're just on the internet, so this shit can fly no matter what. But on network television or any kind of local television, that was sweet.
And
we can't show it.
The only other thing is I encountered a big, large back to school. It's back to school time.
Yeah. Okay. Everything's back to school now.
Look at that.
They've been out of school 2 weeks. It's back to school now. Look at the bins of shit. What is that?
Yep. Everything from glue to markers, and some of it's 54 cents or whatever. Yeah, that was at a big box store. I happened to be looking for something else and ran into that and was like, wow.
Well,
and then I
think
read about.
we know what's going to be in the bag of fun here in the coming
That's
weeks.
right. Some Elmer's glue.
Somebody's going to get some glue and Crayolas, I think, in the future.
And then I stopped at the checkout there as I was waiting because there was only one checkout open, and read a little about the untold stories of Andy there. At the
Andy
news
Griffith.
rack.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey, one of the best episodes of Andy Griffith was on tonight on TV Land. Opie's 3 Wishes. It's superb. If you've never seen the episode, find it and watch it. It is so beautiful. And Barney finds this box and he goes into this whole thing where it's a psychedelic moment of I can get wishes granted, and it's beautiful.
Watch it after the show because you can probably find it on YouTube, but don't do it right now.
Yes. No, not right now. Opie's 3 Wishes. Okay.
We still got more to come.
Gary's got 2 wishes going right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do, to make it to the runway. Okay. And we have, before we get to your stuff, Leslie, there's a photo that I sent Alan. This woman climbed through the drive-thru at McDonald's because they said they don't have any gloves to make any more burgers. So she climbed through. Look at this. She doesn't look like a ne'er-do-well. And she went in and started cooking her own burger. Climb through the drive-thru.
I'm conflicted with this story because she does look cleaner than
most of the people we noticed that are assholes in the drive-thru. She came in through the drive-thru window. All right. Hey, Keith, if you can Matt wants to come on. So if you want to cue him up, he's tried to get on a few weeks, and Leslie's going to do her stuff, and then we'll talk to Matt as the final moment of the show. What do you got?
Weekend.
You too, Ryan.
So a company in Japan has come up with a new way to nap on the job. Itoki nap boxes are designed to let overworked employees get a little shut-eye at the office, but they don't get to do it unless they're willing to do it standing up. The nap box, which looks like what would happen if a propane tank and a hot water heater had a baby, doesn't tip or recline. Instead, the interior is fitted with cradles for the occupant's head, bottom, and knees to prevent them from collapsing at the bottom. The makers say the boxes will help address Japan's strict office culture, which involves painfully long hours spent on the job. Why the folks at Itoki decided on a vertical design, though, is still unclear. So I do believe we do have a picture of this thing. Do we not?
Alan?
I didn't see it in what you sent me.
Oh.
I
Uh-oh.
saw some other video in it, but I didn't see the picture.
Oh, well, so once again, it looks like a water heater and a propane tank had a baby. And then the front opens up and you
And
just
you
like,
nap in it.
yeah,
And being that it's
okay.
Japan, Leslie, they probably give you a pillow that looks like a woman, and you can hold that, and then
An
marry
arm,
it if
yeah,
you
just
want
an
to.
arm and you can marry it. With that though, too, maybe you just cut hours down to something like toward the 8-hour range instead of the 16. I'm not saying, I'm just saying, but anyway, group of people in one town in India got all gussied up on
Wait,
Tuesday.
is that it?
Well,
Yeah, that's
I
it. It
mean,
looks like
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos's rocket.
pretty much. There you go. But so or what is that other grill? The big green egg. Now, if you could toast people in a big green egg, or never mind.
That's the wine
So
talking now. I love it.
yeah. Oh, you know it. A group of people in one town in India got all gussied up on Tuesday to attend a very special wedding. Instead of I-do's, the bride and groom exchanged ribbits because, in fact, they're frogs. The folks in GarrForce believe that the marriage of two frogs is the best way to please the rain god Lord Indra. The event organizer explains that the area has been suffering through a long, hot, dry spell, and he says, quote, "It is a time-tested belief that frog weddings are held to bring in the rains." And lo and behold, the following day, Wednesday, it started to rain.
Woo! Woo!
Yeah. On the other hand, let's get Tommy Skilling on the line because I bet you he could give them a forecast, like 14 days out right now?
Tom is the ace weatherman out of Chicago and knows his stuff better than anybody.
Well, and so most meteorologists these days let's have a wedding on Tuesday because we know it's going to rain on
Yeah.
Wednesday. Elsewhere in India, the chief minister of Punjab state was briefly hospitalized after drinking polluted water for a photo op. Bhagwant Mann sought treatment after he was videoed taking a big drink of water from the region's holy river to promote his clean water initiative. Mr. Mann told people that the trip to the hospital was strictly a routine one.
You know what? I'm having a hard time thinking right now.
So a guy drinks water out of a polluted river and then ends up in the hospital, but he says, "Nah, it was cool. It just
That's the way I
happened."
feel right now. If you hear that I'm in the hospital this weekend, don't be surprised.
It's cool.
It happens.
Just take it.
Shit happens.
So let's see. I think we only need one more story. Let's do something really positive, and let's do liquor.
Yes.
It's called a Veltini, a stunning blend of vodka and everyone's favorite man-made cheese product. Velveeta announced this week that it is teaming with the BLT restaurant group to provide the ultimate cheesy cocktail. It starts with Velveeta-infused vodka, then top it with olive brine and vermouth garnished with Velveeta stuffed olives, a dollop of cheese, and a side of jumbo shells and cheese. The price? And it seems really reasonable these days, $15. You'll be able to find it at BLT steakhouses in Charlotte, New York, and Washington, D.C., as well as the Florentine restaurant in Chicago.
Okay. I'm gonna do a name drop here.
Okay.
I went to a BLT.
I dated Velveeta.
I dated Velveeta, yeah. I went to a BLT restaurant in the Hamptons with Howard Stern and his wife. Uh-oh. All right,
And
I'm gonna have the stewardesses sit down now.
Gary, we got Matt on the phone. Let's bring him on.
Here's
let's
Alan.
go to Matt.
Go to Matt. Go to Matt. You fucking idiot.
I can't go to another commercial. We've run them already.
All right. Hey Matt, what's going on?
Ribbit.
Yeah, really.
Hey, how do you spell? He drank out of that river. How do you spell dysentery? My God.
D-Y. How you
Colorado,
doing, Matt? What's
any
going
name.
on?
What are they calling it? A Veltini?
Yes,
But
it is a
cheesy.
Veltini.
No, you're assuming that. What's that?
Yes, it is a Veltini.
Yeah, but that's assuming that Velveeta is cheese, which it is not. Did you know that
I'm
flies
sorry,
will
Matt.
not land on Velveeta?
Once again, from a man who busts my chops on a regular basis, a stunning blend of vodka and everyone's favorite man-made cheese product.
Oh, okay.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you have to qualify it. Did you know that flies will not land on Velveeta, Leslie?
I haven't checked that out, but once again, I know that Velveeta isn't what most people consider cheese. It is
Matt
a
spanked both of us this week
Right.
for not paying attention to things on the show. And Matt, he puts
It's
out
made
a
of
whip.
polyethylene glycol. You know what that is?
same
It's
thing
the
they put
stuff
into
in the candy
Skittles.
Skittles, yes. Same shit that's in Skittles. Holy shit. Wow.
Oh, Lordy.
I don't know. Sometimes the drink hits
Anyway,
me a
I'm
little.
so glad that I'm so glad that Mike Mascow is on board with the GarrForce. That roast to order coffee is so good.
Yes, it is. And Ryan was saying that he ordered some chocolate coffee from Roast to Order, and it's spectacular.
Yeah, absolutely unsolicited testimonial here. The stuff is wonderful.
Very cool.
All right, Matt. Thank you.
Oh, by the way, one more thing. Leslie?
Uh-oh.
Gosh, you're pretty.
Here it goes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you, Matt. Oh,
It's
Lordy.
nice to be loved, isn't it?
It is.
It is.
And Matt's a sweet guy. It's
So
good.
several
It's
years
all-
ago, Howard Stern and I went to dinner with our wives, and
Uh-huh.
it was very interesting. And
So-
I thoroughly enjoyed that. And we had talked before that and finally got together, and that was it. But it was at that BLT restaurant. That's what I remember.
Okay, so it's not a restaurant chain that I'm
No, they're like pop-ups, but it looked like a
Are
regular
they?
restaurant. It was really good, and they must just move around, and they're smart. They don't have to set up permanently anywhere. If it's not working after a while, you move on.
Well, and that's where I'm questioning how the people at the Florentine in Chicago are tied into this thing. Or maybe they've changed their business model in recent years. But I mean, frankly, what restaurant chain hasn't changed their business model in recent years? So I kind of, as weird as a Veltini sounds, that's savory, like a Velveeta stuffed olive doesn't seem
Yeah.
so bad.
No.
You could just give me a glass full of Velveeta stuffed olives with a little bit of vodka, and that would be,
There you
oh
go.
yeah, dinner.
Do you
Sorry,
remember
folks.
the person we worked for? And this is the Howard Stern story I'll share with you. We both worked for this guy who was portrayed in Howard's movie Private Parts as Pig Vomit.
Right. He was
This
our
guy,
boss.
yeah, this guy was Howard's boss, and he ended up being my boss, and he hired me, and he was real nice to me. And I know Howard had a lot of issues with him. And then this guy died at his desk a number of years ago. He just keeled over. That was it. Done.
Like
And the
at
thing I
50,
remember,
he was only in his
yeah,
mid-50s,
he was relatively young. But what
Right.
I remember is my office was right next to his, and he just yell at people, shout on the phone or whatever. It just was crazy time. But then he'd do real nice things for me. He'd bring me an Arnold Palmer during the show, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. He was always nice to me, but when Howard and I talked, he said it was just a nightmare to deal with him.
Well, I think that was part of what we lived through in terms of what was radio in those days. Was there, you would do your best job possible, and there were people out there who just listened and found the one moment you misspoke, like the middle part of this show.
You're right. Exactly.
and-
That Matt will email me on or you on later.
I don't ever do. But they would do that, and just like you would do a fabulous show, lots of people would enjoy it, and then they would just plant that earworm to F with you for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Like this is how I have power, is to just mess with that moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
And it is interesting when you walk into a restaurant with Howard Stern, because he's so tall and everybody knows who he is and everybody's looking at him. And I also felt like they were going, and who's the schlub he's with? I'm the schlub. I'm the pilot schlub.
Wait, I'm a Radio Hall of Fame. No,
Yeah,
you can't.
hey,
You've never
yeah.
been that guy, but you are a Radio Hall of Famer. You're in some rarefied era. Let's face it. But,
No, that feels good. That feels
but
good.
with
Thank you.
that,
That is an honor, and I don't disregard that as nothing. It's just, I don't know. I'm just here to have a good time, Leslie, and we're here to give away a condom and a snake. That's what
snake.
really,
I mean,
and it's hashtag Skittles.
I promised that there would be other things in the fun bag.
That's a nice bag
Come on,
there. That's
our
a nice
rubber
fun bag.
snakes.
Yeah.
Come
All right.
on.
Hashtag Skittles. And Alan, are you ready to push the button?
We can go anytime, Garry.
Let's do it.
All right.
Here we go. Mike
Molesky. I've noticed a change in the sound effects. Whoever's doing our Foley
it depends.
for us.
It depends on how much of the Manhattan I've consumed, and I've consumed all of it. All that's left is the Luxardo cherry, Leslie. I'm down to Luxardo.
Oh, Lordy. So he's
And
got
Mike, you're going to get the snake and the condom.
Congratulations.
I just ate the cherry.
Oh, yeah.
That means the
that's
show
what
is
she's
coming in
getting.
for a landing here.
So, Mike, send Garry a message on Facebook with your address, or text it to 773-888-2157, or email GarryMeierShow@GarryMeier.com.
Boy, I'd like to get Luxardo cherries as a sponsor. These cherries are unbelievable.
Okay. So I was thinking the other thing, we need Luxardo cherries, and we also need doggy boots, because
Doggy boots and bread mixes from Prepared Pantry.
I'm still
Lou
going for
Malnati's
these guys.
pizza. Come on. What I got to
Where
do
are
here?
you people?
What's wrong?
I
All right.
was at an event in Chicago, 3 dogs wearing shoes, and
There
it
you
was
go.
smart because it was really hot in the street, and these dogs seemed like they were digging the attention, and they were getting the attention. So
There you
let's
go.
go there.
Well, here's the cannoli. Let's look at the cannoli. Pass out the complimentary cannoli. Here it comes. There it is. It's nice. And what about the schnauzers?
I think they should kiss the schnauz. Let the schnauzers kiss.
Stream on all fours. Fetch on all fours. Do what you got to do. Hey, thank you for listening. Back on Monday. Have a great weekend. It's time for the gear to come down because we're in the green here. We're flying dirty. The gear's down. The flaps are down. The voice of the globe. The GarrForce has landed. Ooh.
If you like that, I got other stuff I think you're going to like. This is the GarrForce.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
And please, please, please tell your friends and family to like and subscribe too.
All right. Yes.
More eyeballs. It's a good thing.